Welcome to episode 23 of Drew's Basketball Crew here on this Tuesday morning. Myself, Drew Skyverick, bringing you another slate here for NBA DFS, but bring it to you on Fantasia Sports. Of course, if you want to join me, link is down below. They actually implemented a new feature. I really wanted to talk about it, right? Daily spins. You tell me what DFS platform gives you daily spins where you could potentially earn, right? I mean, you can earn, right, Fant, the native Fant token. You can also earn, you can basically get entry money. They're like just spinning, logging in on the app, right? So I don't know what other apps doing that. So again, come join Fantasia, right? They have higher, lower, and now they have that. They have the classic DFS, which we'll be doing today. Baseball's starting back up. Who knows what's going to come out for that? I'm really looking forward to getting in on that. I'll be right. We're almost there, everyone. Going from Drew's basketball to baseball crew. Starting. I'm gonna plan to start that next week, so I'm looking forward, and I'll keep that one more on the weekend because for baseball, sometimes it's hard to catch the games during the week. With the amount of day games, we've had that issue. So I'm gonna do my best to keep that like a Friday or Saturday, right? Where we're not gonna have that 1:10 game. I mean, unless they're playing at Wrigley, we're not gonna have those Friday day games, hopefully. So that's kind of the plan for the baseball crew. But again, here to talk about the slate. I'll be back later today, 4:15 p.m. along with Zach Roush and Jared Valesky. Full Journey to Million squad. 4:15 p.m. We'll be talking the Lamar Jackson saga. We'll be talking about Aaron Rodgers. What's going on there. There's some few other moves. We'll probably rant about some dynasty stuff. The usual. Catch up with the guys. So let's get going here. So the slate today, only 6 games, but I think that only being 6 games is actually a good thing because there's gonna be there's a lot of value plays today. Why I say that is, some teams coming off back-to-backs from yesterday, but also a big thing is, there's just a lot of guys who are going to get some really good minutes here near the end of the season for some teams that might be out of it. And there's some teams who are, the other thing is then the teams that are pushing for it, they're going to be playing their guys to try to make the playoffs here. I mean, when a bubble team that I think of like Atlanta, Miami, they're fighting for stuff. Toronto, and actually Miami and Toronto play tonight. So, which I'll talk about, but let's go to Boston, Washington. Bradley Beal's out. Kyle Kuzma's out already. So it's like, okay, well, where do we go now? I'm looking at Kristaps Porzingis. I'm looking at that 4 spot. I think, the usage is going to be a pretty good spot. Blowout potential is in this one. That's the concern. Boston's starting everyone. So that's why I'm going to avoid those Boston guys, but I do think Porzingis, like the amount of usage he'll probably see. And if you want like a value guy, it's probably, I think it's Corey Kispert tonight, but I would also be fine with Denny Advia. Probably Kispert, though, would be my choice. So that's where I'd be looking at those 2 guys. Not really looking at Boston too much because, again, that blowout potential. It's kind of where I'm at. Otherwise, Cleveland, Atlanta, in that one, we have, right, looking at it, not much, we're waiting on some things in that one. Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro, both game time decisions. And then it looks like the full squad's going to be ready for Cleveland. With Atlanta then, they got everyone as well. So looking through both these teams, Evan Mobley has been a guy I've liked in these slates. He's been reasonably priced, has had good matchups. So I would probably go Mobley again. But again, having the full squad for Cleveland makes it a little less appealing. Otherwise, I'd go with Trae Young then with Atlanta. So I take the Stars in this one, not looking at, because there's just a lot of really other good options in these other games, I feel. So, and I'll get to them here. So here's one, right? Miami, Toronto in this one, right? I mentioned the starters are going to be playing a good bit here. I'm looking at Jimmy Butler with Miami. Gonna need a big game. Decent matchup. OG Anunoby, I'm kind of monitoring who he's going to probably be on. I'd imagine, right, and it's hard to say, playing matchups in basketball, but really I'd imagine Tyler Hero being his assignment for most of the game. So like right, looking at like but like overall the perimeter like defense for Toronto isn't necessarily the greatest, right? Van Vliet's a smart defender, but isn't a guy who is more of an on-ball threat. I feel more as a threat in the passing lanes, so wouldn't be too concerned with Butler. And Jakob Poeltl is a decent defender, but nothing, right? I mean, Bam Adebayo is certainly a top guy, Miami. But I'd be looking at Butler. I have some better value plays. The spread here is close too, so like that's why I'd be preferring to take the starters. Toronto likes to play their starters in close games, so Pascal Siakam would be one too. And yeah, that's probably those two mainly, but I might take Van Vliet as well. Okay, so Charlotte, we got some things going on. Oubre's a game time decision. We have Gordon Hayward, who is leaning towards not playing. Caleb Martin's already out. Or Cody Martin, sorry. Terry Rozier, Mark Williams. So those guys right there. So we're looking at like Dennis Smith. We're looking at CV. I believe it's my Makiluk, like is how I'd say it. But yeah, he's a guy to monitor because again, being with Charlotte, he's gonna get some good minutes potentially at the 2 spot with all the guards out. I know it's CV, I believe. So then also Nick Richards at the center spot. He got right. Mark Williams out. Nick Richards has been an awesome waiver wire guy. So Richards will probably be my center. It's just a matter of if I'm gonna take what like a point and a set. Like I don't know if I take 2 guys from the Charlotte team. I do think OKC wins this one a blowout, so that's why I might take 2 guys from this team. Memphis, Orlando, go there. Ja Morant, game time decision. Adams out. And so it's looking like Xavier Tillman, also at center, be a decent play. Orlando, I'm looking at Markelle Fultz. I think Fultz is going to be my point guard tonight. I prefer Fultz over Cole Anthony always. I just feel Fultz puts up the better, like the overall better fantasy numbers, and I also like consistency. I feel like Fultz is more consistent where Anthony will give you those great games. And it's like, okay, then not much. So looking at Fultz for Orlando and then Tillman for Memphis. Last game is New Orleans, Golden State. But first, got to thank again Point Brewery for the root beer. Yeah, it's back. Being in Panama this past week, they don't drink root. Like there's not a lot of root beer down there. I don't think any. So I was kind of like, where's the root beer? But Brewery, they got me covered. Against the diet root beer, right? All that great taste, 0 calories. So again, thank you, Stevens Point Brewery, located in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Again, I appreciate all of their support, and I appreciate their great soda, right? All natural vanilla and root beer flavors. So check them out. Their link is also going to be then. I'll tag them on the video, of course. So check out Point Brewery. So last game. New Orleans, Golden State, Andrew Wiggins, game time decision. Andre Iguodala looks like he won't be playing. Poole and Green, though, will be. Dante DiVincenzo looks like another really nice stream with Golden State. Slotted for some pretty good minutes at the 3 spot. So DiVincenzo is probably my value small forward of the day. Also, Zion's out, EJ Liddell, and Jose Alvarado. I'm looking at Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy could be a pretty big beneficiary off this. Alvarado taking usually some of that those backcourt minutes. Probably a good thing for Murphy here. Being able to fill a higher role. Not sure about Brandon Ingram, but I'm a fan. I think this is going to be good matchups for Murphy and Ingram tonight against Golden State. Get a little bit of blowout potential. Golden State's at home. If it was on the road, there'd be blowout potential for Golden State. They can't win on the road. But let's go to some of the value plays. So I mentioned Charlotte's the biggest value you got tonight. Like I would be fine to have 2 players in that, but you got to pick the right 2 players. One of them I believe is going to be CV, or right? CV of Charlotte, the shooting guard, who I apologize for mispronouncing his name. He's going to be probably the top one to go with. I was then debating, do you go with like PJ Washington or Nick Richards? I'd be fine with either. I think I'd lean Richards, but I would be totally fine with Washington tonight. So those are like my top two. Fred VanVleet, in terms of opportunity minutes, is probably going to be that point guard I'm going to take. I mentioned it with Toronto. That's going to be something to look at. I like Kristaps Porzingis' spot tonight, but I'm concerned about blow up potential. But still think he's going to get he's going to do enough with the volume he's going to get. I like Evan Mobley also at the 4 spot. I like Markelle Fultz, right? Those are guys I've mentioned. Xavier Tillman could be an option. I mentioned DiVincenzo. Other small forwards. Gordon Hayward plays. Maybe you take him over like those other Charlotte guys. Right, Jaylen Brown could be. I'm not too sure about that one though. That all depends on how we're looking with the value, and the minutes, blowout potential, a lot of factors. Those are some of the main ones. Again, Trey Murphy I just recently mentioned. Not looking at OKC much tonight. Miami, I mentioned Jimmy Butler at the 3 spot. Washington, again, Porzingis, and maybe if you need a last minute guy, like utility guy, Kispert or Advia, be fine with. Atlanta, probably just Trae Young or DeJounte Murray. Cleveland, Evan Mobley, right? Those are the names I've mentioned. And those are going to be guys you're going to see in my lineup. So my lineup's going to be up here at True Sports Crew. I'll have it up shortly. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, right? I'll have it up all those places. You can check it out. And again, at True Sports Crew, all platforms. And I'll see you all 4:15 tonight for some Journey to a Million. And right, have a good NBA slate. Have a great day. Win this slate. And that's going to wrap it up here for myself, Drew Skyberg, here on this Tuesday morning. Thank you all for seeing another episode of Drew Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.